You want to fight? Fight with me.
I'm Stephen Williams here at the Viking Academy, and I have 3 ways to deliver devastating ground and pound. I'm inside control. I'm looking to deliver my left hand. I'm looking to land heavy shots. What typically happens when you start to posture up to land that left hand is he's going to block your bicep. Inevitably, he's going to try to defend himself. Self-preservation comes in. He's going to try to block. What I'm going to do, as he blocks my arm, I'm going to slide my left knee over his bicep, just like so. Now I want you to watch my right arm. My right arm is going to go nice and tight, and I'm going to hug right around his delt. My shoulder squeezes towards my ear, and from here he is incapable of defending himself from my left hand shots. So from here, I'm landing hard shots for the finish, okay? So let's review that one more time. I'm inside control. I'm in position where I'm trying to land devastating ground and pound, but as I'm punching, he blocks my arm. What do? I slide my hips back, knee over the top, shrug the arm tight to my shoulder and ear, so it's vice grip between my ear and my shoulder. From here, I'm landing devastating ground and pound, hard shots there. So that's one of the first ways, and when you're starting ground and pound, that's like one of the premier positions that you learn to ground and pound from. But there's one that I believe is arguably better, and you probably saw Brock Lesnar land this against Frank Mir. He did it from half guard, but this works really well too. So let's say I'm here. Number one thing, I'm inside control. I have to make sure that I've cleared the near side arm. So that's just a long form way of saying I'm gonna bring my left knee into my right knee, and I'm gonna open up. So keep your elbow on my hip, and I pull my partner in. I'm gonna pull him in nice and tight. So check this out, this is where the isolation comes in. My right arm is gonna push down on his elbow. First thing, so my underhook side on the far side is gonna push down on the elbow, and my left arm is gonna start to snake under the armpit. Okay, so this is where things get particular. Look at my left hand. Watch as my left hand starts to snake towards the elbow, not the armpit. We're going longer towards the elbow, and I start to pull Josue's left elbow towards my knee. Now, as you can see, both of his arms are now isolated and completely out of the picture in terms of defending his face. From here, it doesn't take much for me to shoot my shoulder back and land devastating shots here. Not to mention, if I were to pull down the crown of Josue's head, pulling his chin in towards his chest, it would be a seamless neck crank as well. So one more time on that concept. This is number 2, by the way, number 2. So I've managed to clear my partner's near side arm. How did I do that? I brought my left knee in, I opened up, and I pulled him in too, just like so. Now pay attention to my right arm. It can manifest in a few ways. Maybe he's pushing me away, right? If he's doing this, framing on my neck, framing here, watch what I do with my right arm. My right arm comes in, and I'm actually doing what's considered kind of a cardinal sin, right? You don't typically want to give up your far side underhook for obvious reasons, right? Underhook me, and he can start to attempt to escape, right? So we don't want that. But in the interest of mixed martial arts, one of our foundational principles, and we want to land as much damage as possible in as short amount of time as possible, I'm going to relinquish my underhook. So my arm comes out, and I push the forearm to the ground, just like that. See this? Time I frame here, I come inside, and I push, just like so. I go palm to palm to lock the arm in position. My left hand snakes to the armpit. Don't look for the elbow right away, just go to the armpit. Then slowly start to work to the elbow. Walk. As you can see, he's completely compromised. I can easily land hard, devastating shots that are obviously impossible for him to defend with his upper body. Not to mention, if I want to revert back to the crown, I have an option for a neck crank built into the position. Okay, so the next one's a little bit funkier. So we have 2 so far. We have the first one, which is just the traditional crucifix, and the second one is an arm pinch, where we have both arms isolated, but through the use of one arm. Now, the third position, which I think is the most funky, is highly related to the second sequence. So let's say, again, the context is that you cross-face me, I've already cleared the near side arm, we don't have to go over that again. My right elbow pulls out, which again is not recommended unless you're trying to deliver ground and pound. It works for MMA, not so much for pure jiu-jitsu, right? It's not as common, I should say. I push the elbow down, I lock his arm into position, I start to work towards the elbow, towards the armpit. From this position, I slide to the elbow and start to extract his hand towards my hip. Now watch what I start to do. I start to walk my hip forward, turning Josue onto his side, right? Now it's fairly easy for me to step, just elongate your arms, I don't step in here. It's fairly easy for me to step my left leg over, to walk my heel towards his shoulder, and as you can see, I mean, self-explanatory. There's nothing I can't do, and there's nothing he can do to defend this position, man. So landing shots, hard shots would be pretty effortless, not to mention I have built-in armbar attacks as well. But again, our premier focus today is just landing ground and pound. It's not submissions, it's just ground and pound. So again, I clear the elbow, I pull Josue in, secure the armpit, break down the frame, palm to palm. Armpit grip, secure the hip. Walk, 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 walk. Start to walk your hand through. Now what do? Forward momentum, right. So I start to drive my hip forward, putting Josue onto his side, facing away from me. Again, I'm putting in shots here, but if you want optimal control, right? So for instance, if Josue was to, if he's a strong guy and he started to pull his left elbow towards his hip, chances are I'll probably lose control eventually. Especially if I'm hitting him. His innate need to survive is gonna force him to free up his arm. So if I'm hitting a guy hard enough and I don't put him out in the first 2-3 shots, he's going to eventually pull the elbow out. Especially within the context of a mixed martial arts fight where you're not wearing a shirt and you're obviously gonna be pretty sweaty. So it's much harder to control your partner, your opponent rather, when you don't have a shirt on. So I have this position, maybe I'll land 1 or 2 shots, but look what I do with my feet. I step through, step over, and this is the big key. I don't want to leave this out. Make sure that your heel is above the elbow line, closer to the armpit than to the fist. And from here, I typically will leave my fist in, my left fist in, and just land devastating shots. Again, there's nothing he can really do to finish. If you want to resort to the neck crank, it's still available. Very soon, you can't have that. So that's been 3 ways to isolate your partner's arms and land devastating ground and pound for mixed martial arts. So I just want to say it one more time. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we have plenty more videos coming your way. Josue, thanks for that. Appreciate it.